Hello everyone. So today we will be solving the day 27th of March Lead Coding Challenge, which is palindromic substring. So let us check the question first. We have been given a string and we have to count how many palindromic substrings are there in this string. Okay, so that's quite straightforward. So in this particular string, there are only three substrings, that is A, B, and C, which are palindromic. Okay. Similarly, if you check this particular a string, there are 1 2 3 4 5 4 5 6 6 substrings which are the palindromes. So I think the question is pretty much clear, and the question, there is nothing much complexity in the question. So there are multiple ways to solve this question, and this is a very important question. Probably you might get this into an interview, but yeah, one of the way to solve this is using dynamic programming. So I'll just quickly explain that. So let us consider this as the substring which we have. So at any particular point, let's say these are the two indexes which you have. So when can we say that a particular string is a palindrome, right? Only when the character at both this index, if they are equal, and the rest of the substring, that is from this I plus 1 till j minus 1, is also a substring. Okay, so only in this condition we can say that the particular substring which we are considering is a palindrome. So if we check this particular thing, A and A are equal. So we will now check if the substring from B till this B is a palindrome or not. So similarly it will go on, and subsequently we will get the answer for this. So now we have to tell how many substrings are there inside this string which are also palindrome. Okay. So one thing to understand is that all substrings of length 1 is a palindrome by itself, right? All strings of length 1 is palindrome. So what I have done is that I have taken a 2D array, and I'm just taking everything which is a palindrome. So according to me, all the substrings of length 1 is a palindrome. So I'm just taking it out. So now, one interesting thing to understand is that what would be the case uh, if if the length is 2. Okay, so this particular row, this particular diagonal which I have drawn here, this particular says that all the substrings of length 1. So when we say that, uh, let us consider this particular box. Okay, so what does this signifies? So this particular box signifies a substring of length a. So basically this particular thing signifies this particular substring where one of the pointer is pointing at A and the other pointer is pointing at B. Okay, so similarly when you check this particular box, what does this signifies is that it actually, yeah, so when you check this particular box, so this actually signifies a substring from uh, this substring where the first pointer is at A and the second pointer is at this particular thing. Similarly, if you try to understand this particular box, it is very similar to this one. So it starts from B and it is up till here, where the first pointer is here and the second pointer is here. So this is very important to understand. Only when you understand this, you will understand the whole approach. So what we can do is that once we know that all the substrings of length 1 is always a palindrome, we can move on to the substring with length 2. So these are not equal, so this is not a palindrome. This is also not a palindrome. This is also not equal, so this is not a palindrome. Same here and here and here. So now if you check A and A, so both these A and A are is equal. So what are we going to do is that we will check for substring I plus 1 to j minus 1. So basically, while deciding for this particular block, we will check for substring which comes under this. So which is actually this particular block. For every box, we will check its diagonal. That is this one. So this is a palindrome. So that's the reason this is also a palindrome. Similarly, it is not equal, so that is not a palindrome. This is equal, and the diagonal one is also equal, so it is a palindrome. Similarly, this is not equal, and this is also equal, and the diagonal one is also a palindrome, so this one is also a palindrome. So this is not a palindrome, this is not a palindrome. Similarly, this is not, and this is also not a palindrome. Okay. So now if you check this particular box, so A and A, they are equal, but but the substring inside it, that is BAC, which signifies this one, this particular thing, this is not a palindrome. So that is the reason this is also not a palindrome here. Here B and B are equal, and its substring, that is ACA, is also a palindrome. That is the reason this is also a palindrome. And over here, if you check, this is not a palindrome. I hope you guys are able to understand this. And at this particular time, this are not equals to not a palindrome. This is also not equals to not a palindrome, and this is a palindrome. Okay. So at the end, if you check, uh, at the end, what the we need to return as the output is all the substrings which are palindrome, right? So if we check this particular upper triangular matrix, so we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8 9 10 11 and 12. So for this particular question, the answer is 12. Okay. So I hope I'm able to understand, you guys are able to understand this. I'll quickly move on to the code part. So then you will be in a better position to understand what I explained. So this is the code where the first thing what I'm doing is that I'm creating a DP 2D array, and this is the initialization which I'm doing for all the substrings of length 1. So basically all the diagonal I'm saying that it is true. So it is the same path which we have done here. Okay. So all this is true. Followed by which what I am doing is that I am going diagonally. Okay. So every time the first uh, I will be exploring this cell, then this cell, then this cell, then this cell. Okay. And the condition remains same. If they are equal, I will check its diagonal, or else if it is less than 2, because if it is less than 2, it should be directly considered as a palindrome or not based on the first condition. Okay. And if it is if it returns true, I am incrementing my count, and at the end I am returning this count. So I think once you understood the explanation, the code should be very easy. And talking about the time complexity is big O of n square, and also the space complexity is big O of n square, because we are having an extra space. So I think that is pretty much about this question. And I think this is a very important question, and there are multiple ways to solve this. Uh, there is also a Manicur's algorithm which is there, which can be solved. So if you guys want a video on that, you can you can just comment it in the uh, comment section. I will make a video on that. So until then, uh, happy coding, and if you have any questions or anything, do let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching.